broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Welcome to Power CEOs, the truth behind the business. I'm Jen Gaudet, your fearless host, entrepreneur, investor, and business strategist. I'm really excited to be here today. I have three amazing guests for you. We are going to talk to the fastest growing title company in the country, and I have in studio with me JW Beauchamp. He is their national sales director. Welcome to the studio.
Hey, thank you so much for having us. It's a pleasure to be here today.
It's absolutely a pleasure to have you in studio. We also have Latane Meade, the CEO of Allied Title.
Great to be here. We'll tell you the good, bad, and ugly if you want to hear it. Whatever you need.
The good, bad, and ugly. I love it. And last but certainly not least, we have Brian Athey.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to talking to you.
Absolutely. And so we're here. We like to talk about all the things in business. How are you navigating the real estate climate today? So how are you able to navigate the differences between your markets and maintain that morale and that culture?
Within every market, there's a leader like JW that understands the market. And, we're constantly checking in and understanding the market conditions. And, we have different meetings throughout the month and weeks, for each state and all the different challenges. And so the key to our business is great local people. So it's a combination of local people with, national offerings, technology products. And so, at the end of the day, business is always hard. We never think business is easy. We talk about it all the time. But, we got good, smart, great people that are fighting through the challenges, and we figure it out.
One of the USPs that I find as an investor in real estate is that you are investor friendly. So how was it that you guys set up that kind of vertical? What did that look like, and how were you able to really establish yourself with investors as an investor-friendly title company? I think I'm going to go first to Brian.
Yeah, I think that one of the really critical things was that, Matt and Latane founded the company. And then when I got involved, about a year later, I own a real estate hard money lending company. And the second most important thing after being able to trust them as partners was to know that they could process my hard money loan deals and my development deals. And, fortunately, one of the first hires of the company was a woman named Melissa, who's a really intelligent, experienced processor who did an excellent job. And so through in the early days, doing lots and lots of real estate hard money loans, and then my development deals, and then my friends' development deals, the company got very experienced doing commercial transactions. And I'm really proud to say that, within the last year, that the company closed a $13 million refinance for me, and have done much other, other larger deals. I know some $20+ million transactions, et cetera. So, but it starts with foundational pieces, a really good, smart processor in the early days that's still with the company now.
Awesome. Do you have anything to add, JW?
I just second what Brian says. It really comes down to the employees, right? And I believe we do an amazing job, especially when we go to new states, new markets, at finding the best people. It's not a quick process. We don't hire someone just like, hey, we need an escrow officer. Like, we'll find somebody and just stick them in the seat. Like, we take that time to make sure that we hire absolute rock stars that can do residential, can do commercial, can do investment deals. They get grilled pretty hard by the rest of our team in that process of like, hey, can you actually do this? And when you have that ability, it's pretty easy to sell, right? In terms of like, hey, we can do it. I got an amazing team. This is nothing, right? But you have to have those great employees to start.
I'll change this conversation a little bit. We went to a party and met this real estate agent that we really liked. And his brother was friends with Matt Paulson. And we're like, wow, we really like this guy. We've got to do business with him. And so it goes back to, you want to do business with people you like and people you can get along with and trust. And so, we've had instances like that where we went to a state because we weren't planning on it, but we met someone that we really jived with and felt like, hey, let's give this a shot. The worst case scenario fails.
So we would like to have a process, and we'd like to know exactly where we're going. But what I'm hearing is when the right opportunity fits, even if it's not according to your strategic plan, you're willing to explore it if it's the right people. So I'm going to ask another question that I think would be very, very real and relevant. And that's, tell me about the hardest time in the business since its inception? Like, what was the greatest adversity, and how did you guys climb out of it?
The most challenging, like I said, good, bad, and ugly. Look, we had a really tough 8 months. We've had a great couple months, right? It's been a nice spring. But before that, it was a really tough 8 months. In fact, we were looking at the history from a year ago today. It was about this week and next week were good, and then things dropped off a cliff. And that's because interest rates popped up a lot and people weren't used to it. And so when you go through that, we did our best to keep as many people as we possibly could in our company. But at a certain point, we had 70 employees and we had to make some cuts. We didn't want to do it. The owners of the company stopped taking salaries first because we wanted to keep as many people as we possibly could. But those are never easy. If you have to let go of someone that's great, it hurts everyone. And it was a tough time for us. So and that's just part of running a business, unfortunately, and tough decisions you have to make. Luckily the market's come back. We've really taken our marketing to another level, especially on the video side for Allied Title. We used to do a video a week. Now we do a video a day. Every single day we put a new video up. And on top of that, we also do up to like 6 social media stories on top of the videos a day. So we're going hard, and then we're constantly focused on, like you said, how do we solve the problems of agents? Because if we're constantly solving the problems of agents, they're going to actually want to refer us to their friends. We also believe that just because you become a partner with us, that's actually the beginning of the work we need to do, because we need to go create relationships with all of your real estate agents, with all of your partners. And then we have a team that constantly checks in with all our partners. How are we doing? What can we do better? And what do you need?
If you had one piece of advice or something that people could take away and implement today, who are watching, maybe they are entrepreneurs and they're in the adversity period because of what's happening economically or in their business cycle, or maybe they're looking at getting started in investing, and what would that action step that they could take to just start the momentum in the positive direction for them?
Well, I'll give you a story. So when we first started Allied Title, I went to Matt Paulson. I was like, tell me about title. And I was like, all right, to be clear, if I go get the business, you'll make sure the deals get taken care of. And he goes, sure. So that night I went home and I built a website. And so I came back the next day and I said, ta-da, we have a company. So the point is, you just got to do. And we always talk about it. You got to do. Don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Just do. When we first started, we were in the ugliest office in the world. We had no choice because Matt Paulson had his law firm there. And so what did we do? We said, hey, we'll close anywhere, anytime, because we didn't want people to come in our office because it was horrible. So, that's kind of the way you got to figure out solutions for things, right? And you got to just do. And then eventually, now we have gorgeous offices around DC 6 years later. But a lot of people don't know about the early days.
Fantastic. And so we have had quite the conversation today. I'm going to leave just 3 words or like a quick statement from each of you. If you had it to do over again and you were back at square one with Allied, is there something you would do different? What would it be? What would you tell yourself to do?
I actually enjoy the mistakes because it's a better story afterwards. So I'm excited about the horrible office that we had. I'm excited. So like all those stories create character, and it makes it more fun at the end of the day. To be honest with you, sure, we make a lot of mistakes. I think it's part of the process. There's nothing I would do differently. Could we have been more successful? Possibly, probably, but it's been a fun journey.
I mean, I'm kind of with Laddie. I wouldn't really change anything, because I think if I hadn't made that personal connection with Latane and Matt and Brian before I really, kind of came on board full time, if you will, they wouldn't have trusted me to come on full time, and I wouldn't have wanted to do it. I mean, it was really them kind of inspired me to want to be a part of this. And if I would just, when they said help us find a process, or if I'd have said, well, only if you hire me full time, it wouldn't have been the same.
I feel like I have the best partners that somebody could possibly have, and as a consequence, I wouldn't change a thing. The journey's been phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to even better days ahead.
Awesome. Thank you, all of you, for showing up today and for adding such tremendous value to our audience and our listeners. Thank you for joining us.
This has been a Now Media television feature presentation. All rights reserved.